Simone Biles, the GOAT, is back and ready to claim gold in Paris. At the age of just 27, Simone Biles is already a superstar. In fact, she might just be the GOAT of gymnastics, having to this date accumulated a total of 37 medals in the Olympics and World Championships. Her 7 Olympic gymnastics medals tie her with Shannon Miller as the most ever by a US gymnast, and it seems like she is just getting started. With the Paris 2024 Olympic Games just around the corner, there is no denying that Biles will certainly be back to break the record and become the greatest US Olympic gymnast to have ever graced the earth. And guess what? She is only 27 years old, with a long career still ahead of the champion if she so chooses. But could she fail, or is it a done deal? The rise of Simone Biles. Born Simone Ariane Biles Owens on March 14, 1997 in Columbus, Ohio, Simone Biles has always had a dream of breaking into the world of professional gymnastics. Unfortunately, she didn't have an easy life growing up, and her mother, Shannon Biles, was unable to care for Simone and her 3 other siblings. They would all eventually end up in foster care. However, Simone would have a lucky break when her maternal grandparents officially adopted her and her sister, Adria. They would go to Benfer Elementary School in Harris County, Texas, with Simone already showing promise as a gymnast from a very young age. But it wasn't until she grew to the age of 14 that her career took off, and she would officially become a junior elite athlete on July 1, 2011, at the 2001 American Classic in Houston. Here, Simone placed 3rd overall thanks to winning the vault, being 2nd on floor exercise, and placing 3rd on the balance beam. Her worst position would be 4th on the uneven bars, and this is when people started taking note. This would ultimately allow her to break out into the world of professional gymnastics, and she earned an invitation to the 2012 USA Gymnastics National Championships. Once again, she finished 3rd at the age of just 15, which earned her recognition by being selected to the US Junior National Team. But this was just the start. Biles would go on to make her senior gymnastics debut close to her birthday in March of 2013, where she finished 2nd behind her teammate. This would see her win her first competition, which turned out to be the City of Jesolo Trophy in 2013. Over the next few years, Biles would continue to rise, always placing in the top 3 in major international competitions. Over the next decade, Biles would win gold on 23 separate occasions at World Championship competitions. But let's face it, unless you are a die-hard gymnastics fan, you probably haven't watched any of these. However, for Simone Biles, this allowed her to not only meet some of the best gymnasts in the world, but also adapt her routine into something unique, something that could potentially win an Olympic gold medal. Her first opportunity came as early as 2016, before Biles even reached the age of 20. Biles at the Olympic Games. After qualifying for the Olympics, Biles noticed that competing at this level was a little more complicated than other competitions, that she had to work that much harder in order for her to actually make a name for herself. But on August 9, 2016, she won her first Olympic gold medal in the gymnastics team event. She was the only US gymnast to compete in all 4 events and contributed a whopping 61.833 points to the team total of 184.897, beating the Russian team by more than 8 points in the end. But this was only the start of her streak, where she would win another gold in the individual all-around event 2 days later, and then went on to win another bronze medal due to a technicality on the balance beam, before rounding out her Olympic Games with another gold medal in the exercise final. Biles would leave Rio with 4 gold medals, making her the most successful American female gymnast at a single Olympic Games. She also completely changed her own life, and by the time she reached the age of 20, Biles was in need of a hiatus. In 2017, she took a hiatus from the sport, focusing on her personal life and even competing in the 24 seasons of the acclaimed television show Dancing with the Stars. But Simone Biles always loved gymnastics, and everyone knew a comeback was on the cards, which proved to be the case in 2018. Biles continued to perform over the next couple of years, racking up gold medal after gold medal and proving that she was one of the greatest gymnasts the world has ever seen. But turmoil struck during the 2020 Summer Olympics. Biles would suffer from mental health issues due to all the pressure being put on her, and many people truly had their hopes high that she would attain the same levels of success she had a couple of years prior in Rio. But this was not the case, and she actually withdrew after qualifying. In fact, During the qualification, she barely managed to squeak through after suffering a couple of issues in a few of her favorite disciplines. Biles even said that she could feel the weight of the world on her shoulders and that she values her mental health above everything, which is why she took inspiration from the legendary Naomi Osaka, who at one point also chose to withdraw from competition. But the following year, she would once again return and focus on the 2023 World Championships, definitely eyeing up the Paris 2024 Olympic Games to be held at the end of July and into August. At the 2023 World Championships, Biles once again made history after winning gold on the floor and becoming the first gymnast ever to win 6 gold medals on a single apparatus. But it is perhaps her focus on Paris that has many people excited, and the fact that her incredible floor routine seems to be near perfect. In fact, it is hard to know if anyone can even compete with this flawless routine if executed to perfection. The GOAT is back. 2024 is looking to be one of the most intense years for sport, not only in athletics but with so many grand sports events happening. It is quite interesting to see what will happen. For Simone Biles, things couldn't have gone better, and the sporting main event for 2024 will definitely be the Olympic Games, with billions of people who will once again watch this event. For Simone Biles, 2024 got off to an incredible start. She opened her season with the Core Hydration Classic in May, where she utterly dominated and swept the field with another gold in the all-around discipline. However, she recorded the highest ever score on the floor and the Olympic quad. With this, she qualified for the Olympic trials. The next hurdle she would have to overcome would be the Olympic trials, and Biles certainly did this. Recently, she placed first in the all-around, which was followed by second place on the uneven bars. She would finish fourth on the balance beam and, as expected, utterly dominated the floor to be named once again the United States Olympic team. Biles also won the overall trials, and she seems to be back in the same form she was when she shocked the world in 2016. But what makes her so incredible and the favorite for Paris? Why is Simone Biles so good? Well, for starters, you will have to look at some of the routines she often performs during competition. You see, Simone Biles is not just incredible at performing, but she often chooses the most difficult routines. In fact, many experts will argue that the routine she performed on the 2023 vault and 24 floor was the most difficult to ever be successfully completed. Biles also holds the value of H in 4 of her disciplines, which is the highest skill level she could have possibly attained in these disciplines. Being willing to do this takes a lot of concentration, focus, and training, which is also why Biles has been training for a whopping 32 or even more hours each week when she is getting ready to compete. She also follows a strict diet, and her self-discipline is something that virtually no one can even compare to. With the Olympic Games just around the corner, there is no denying the fact that she will once again be training just as hard. And the biggest worry is that she can cope with the pressure a little better. She is currently tied on 7 Olympic medals with Shannon Miller in the gymnastics discipline, and many expect her to finally become the best US gymnast of all time in 2024. But what do you think of this superstar, and will Simone Biles reach her goal of 8 Olympic medals? It can be quite dating to think about it, but if there is anyone with a glimmer of a chance to achieve this, it should definitely be Simone Biles. Make sure to let us know in the comments if you think this is even possible.